Hello and welcome to Aviadev Insight Africa, the podcast offering a window to the world of African aviation with your host, John Howell, CEO and founder of Aviadev Africa. Today, we are traveling to the Republic of Angola in southern Africa, where the new Luanda International Airport will soon come online, with the huge ambition to become a major hub for Africa. My last visit to Luanda was back in 2013, so 10 years ago, and I remember seeing the plans for the airport back then. So it's really exciting now to be able to see the finished product ready for inauguration very shortly. Now, ahead of the inauguration, the Ministry of Transport of the Republic of Angola are hosting an online event on Tuesday, the 19th of September, which will offer potential investors an overview of the project itself and also the associated investment opportunities. It's important to note that the investors that are present at the online event will receive priority access to the tender itself, and they will also have the opportunity to meet with the ministry one-on-one and ask specific questions. The event on the 19th will provide the full picture of the opportunity, but today we are simply going to preview the session, which I'm delighted to say that I will be hosting on that day. So to do this, it's a great honor to welcome back a previous guest, Honourable Minister Ricardo Viegas de Abreu, the Minister of Transport of the Republic of Angola. So, Honourable Minister, welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John. It's a pleasure to be here with you and preparing this huge event that we are organizing for the investors.
So let's get straight into it and straight into the plans for the project. How does the government of Angola see the future management of the major gateway airport to Angola? What is the big vision?
Well, we, during the last 5 years, introduced several reforms on our civil aviation system, from not only the legal and regulatory framework, but as well as the institutional framework, establishing the first administrative independent authority in Angola, which is our Civil Aviation Authority. And we've been in this process preparing ourselves for this great moment, which is the opening of this new infrastructure and very sound infrastructure that is the new international airport, Dr. Antonio Agostinho Neto. So we are with these reforms ready to engage with international partners. We want private sector involvement in supporting the strategy moving forward for our civil aviation system. And that's the reason why we intend to organize this event and also preparing all the conditions for the international tender process that will happen during October.
Let's focus in on Angola itself. Why should potential investors that are listening to this, why should they look to invest in Angola? What's so attractive about Angola in 2023?
Well, Angola is currently one of the most stable countries in the continent. We've been a country very strong on the oil sector during the last years. And at the current moment, diversification of our economy is on the top of our agenda. And civil aviation can be a very strong contributor to explore all the potential that Angola has in the different sectors, from tourism, from trade, agriculture, industry, and logistics. Because one of our main objectives for this international airport and all the complex that we are putting together is exactly to establish not only a passenger hub here on this side of the west coast of Africa, but also a cargo and logistics hub. That's the main objective for this project. And the potential is immense. And we believe that we will be successful in putting together this strategy. As you know, John, Africa, although we have a tremendous potential in growing connectivity, we are still lacking the capacity to do that, not only because of the infrastructure, but also because of the airlines, because of the access to planes and financing to support our civil aviation system under the single African air transport market. So there's a lot to be done, and we are doing our part. And we see our new international airport as one important element for not only Angola, but also supporting the region and the continent in establishing a new hub.
Yes, and the infrastructure is quite massive, and everybody will get to see just how big and how ambitious the project is on the 19th. So focusing in on the event on the 19th, who is the event aimed at? Who do you want to attend the event, and what are they going to get from attending the event?
Well, we intend to not only present the specifications of this new airport and all the supporting infrastructure for this major infrastructure, but also providing some information, um, clarifying some of the doubts or questions that might arise from potential investors on this infrastructure. Obviously, that we want as well to announce the date for the international tender, where the investors will have access to all the documentation related to this project. Not only the airport details and specifications, but also the economic and financial model supporting the concession process that we are preparing to launch.
Yes, and as we said, only the investors that attend the briefing will have access to that because they obviously need to be qualified by yourselves. So at the event itself, then, other than your good self providing an overview and an introduction to the project and to the day, who else are we going to hear from, and what topics are they aiming to cover during the day?
Yes, we invited the Ministry of Economy and Planning of Angola to join us on this event, so we can present not only the very recent reform agenda that we put together and the policy measures that Angola introduced very recently, also talking about all the potential that we have in other industries and sectors, from tourism, agriculture, industry, and logistics, to brief our audience about all the economic potential of Angola. We've been introducing since enactment of President João Lourenço several policy measures and restructuring projects, and those will be also detailed during the event, but also giving a very sound indicators of the potential of the Angolan economy in this path to the diversification. So those are the main, I would say, features, the Ministry of Planning and myself. And then we will have our technical team also presenting the infrastructure and the preparation for the concession process that we will be launching in October.
Perfect. And that concession process itself, obviously the investors that attend, I did mention this in the introduction, there'll be the opportunity for them to actually set up private one-on-one meetings with yourself and the team.
Yeah, we will have space for investors to come on one-to-one meetings, so they can be clarified on their specific items and issues. And that's the main purpose for these one-to-one meetings. Obviously, the process of the concession will also be presented, the schedule of events, not only the launching, but all the various steps on the concession program that will also include the potential of visits to the infrastructure, questioning the commission that will be managing all the tendering process. So those are the details that we will be exploring on our event, and obviously trying to get the attention of these potential investors.
Perfect. So it's an opportunity for them to engage early, to get to know the people from your side behind the process, to understand how the process will run. And as we said before, they have to attend this event to obviously be qualified and to be able to have those conversations. So it's very simple and very easy for those listening that are interested and do qualify for this to register. You can register through the link that is either in the show notes if you're listening on the podcast, or in the episode notes on YouTube. There's a link there to the ministry's website where you can register and qualify for the webinar itself. It's going to be a really exciting day, and it's, as you say, it's one of a raft of measures by the ministry to diversify as much as anything else.
Yes, indeed. We are ready to move. We are very close to the construction process. We are currently undergoing not only the ORAT process, but also the certification of our airport. By November, we'll be inaugurating the airport, and hopefully during this year, early next year, we'll start operations. So we have established also our temporary operator until we reach the point to select the future operator of this new international airport of Luanda.
Wow, so exciting, and a new dawn and a new start and a new amazing piece of infrastructure, not just for Luanda and Angola, but for the whole of Southern Africa and Africa as a whole, to really have another major hub and another part of the connectivity puzzle which needs to be fixed, as you alluded to in the beginning. So thank you so much for your time, Honourable Minister. We really do appreciate it. We look forward to the session on the 19th, and we'll see you then.
Thank you. Thank you very much, John. I'll see you then, and all the potential investors that will join us to these sessions. Thank you very much.
Obrigado. Thank you.
Thank you. Obrigado.